abusuafo yɛ mo bibi akwa aba. Kelvin Tailor ababontin edi nsɛm bi atodwa. Ɛfa Chief Justice, suspended Chief Justice, Mami Gertrude Anaba Seki Torkonoo. In fact, odi nsɛm bi ababontin, odi revelation bi ababontin. Na utie nsɛm a Kelvin eka. Na kyese maame no de it is likely sɛ maame no onsan enya ni position ni bio. Obekwa akwatena fie. Even the NDC for binom kreka ekyerɛ sɛ maame no ɛyɛ den a Madam Fupa Beko. Madam Fupa Beko agya me na ma ye ni den ni. Madam Gertrude Torkonoo ebeko. Now wasan dive into demonstrations the political parties some person staging out. Now the current government and as the government I so ben otisu yiradwo mahama na aban. Ensema Kelvin Tailor akade echi encourage na me pese me kasa bebre ye beko ye kwa kuti Kelvin Tailor nsema de tudwa na ye koba ye de naka hina ebeto aso na so document beto na wa like dwumadi na wa share na foforo enye biahwe isansa hanom your number one authentic platform Mega TV na kupon koso a enhyiraw abusua yenti nsema Kelvin Tailor editu edwa yemfa credit am loud silence TV ena mbobo ye nya sanse webi edibe sombo.
Okay. Into the resignation letter ne buy no. And the acting Chief Justice Mr. Bonny or say Mr. Metro letter bro. So I resign here a year. In fact, the acting Chief Justice in the letter but no I mean stated clearly what he actually wrote in the letter to this lady. I'm reading through. I say, at the 209th meeting of the Judicial Council held on Wednesday, 26th March 2025, the council accepted the request by His Lordship, Sarah Pamela Corantin, to be released from the duties of Judicial Secretary. Wherefore, you are hereby directed to assume the duties of Judicial Secretary pending decision by the Judicial Council and the eventual appointment of a substantive Judicial Secretary. Members of Judiciary, the Judicial Services of Ghana and the general public are to take note accordingly. Please accept my best wishes. Inti, Mami wedding resignation koyana and na the acting Chief Justice onusu yi His Lordship Justice Oyi a new person to replace Madam Serum. So when you read the document, the acting Chief Justice has done what? He has accepted the woman's resignation. Emma the deputy and the acting Chief Justice as suggested the council the General Legal Council to consider her as the acting. Somebody to be the substantive judicial services for opinion, they will get the person to be. And for now, no, the deputy to this lady has taken over as the acting judicial services board boss. That is it there. So you can see clearly say. Thank you very much. Thank you, team. You can see clearly say the acting Chief Justice, he's not playing. So also I resign a letter obi acti enimaniana ejumane koso ejumano enreste. Nobody is going to rest. But you see, the most interesting thing about the American children say, now me come and we ask this woman. Do you know that this woman was one of the women now Madam Torkonoo was trying to slaughter because a slaughter now or suggest or can send a person in the Supreme Court. This judicial services for a secretary, Chief Justice Madam Torkonoo wanted to make her a Supreme Court judge. Do you know? She actually proposed to the president that this woman who is the judicial services, the almost secretary, Madam Torkonoo wanted to make this woman a Supreme Court judge. So, Refia, it was when this issue came up, when Madam Torkonoo, ambulance case judge, 4 others recommended for Supreme Court. Case Webukai 2024 July. Madam Torkonoo wanted to make the judicial secretary a chief a Supreme Court judge. Do you remember? Aha. This was the lady Anato Konupesa Oyeno, a judge in the Supreme Court. Now, say Onkaya, the Chief Justice then, Madam Torkonoo, wrote a letter to the president proposing some names to the president to say, or Sanko for the president and promote to Omunko Supreme Court. Do you remember? Let me show you the letter. Abiana Refi. Remember this letter? This was the letter Chief Justice Madam Torkonoo, Extra Command, another Danko Kufuado, the 30th of May 2024. Ekache Kufuado say, or proposing for appointment of 5 judges to the Supreme Court. This woman who just resigned as the Judicial Secretary, she was part of the people that Madam Torkonoo wanted to make her a Supreme Court judge. It came in the system for some time. Let me enlarge it. Names. You can see it, right? We read the letter now. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the date today is 30th May 2024. President of the Republic of Ghana, Jubilee House, Accra, Your Excellency. This was a letter the Honorable Chief Justice wrote to the President proposing 5 judges say on promote or more informal a Supreme Court. And the lady who just resigned today, no, Judicial Secretary, or the Secretary to Madam Torkonoo. Madam Torkonoo suggested her. She actually proposed, said that lady, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, should move her to the Supreme Court. And in them, I'm resigning because the boss, Dream. Into reading letter, now this is what Madam Torkonoo wrote. Proposal for appointment of 5 judges to the Supreme Court. Thank you very much, team, for bringing this in. Reading letter now, I write to respectfully request that the following judges be appointed to the Supreme Court of Ghana. 1. Her Ladyship, Justice Angela Mensah Homia, J.A. His Lordship, Justice Eric Chebafo. Mukai Chebafo. Biya makeup Chebafo once a matchro. Mr. S, get me Chebafo and the NCA case who actually jailed the people. NCA case, the second person, His Lordship, Justice Eric Chebafo. I'll talk about Chebafo, you know. Number 3, His Lordship, Justice Edward Amwaku Asante. Number 4, Her Ladyship, Justice Sarah Pamela C.A. Kuranting. And Her Ladyship, Justice Efia Asariboche. So these were the 5 judges, including Mamia Ekanasemi resigning day. Madam Torkonoo as a secretary. She included her name in the judges. She was proposing. She suggested to the president to move them to the Supreme Court of Ghana. Now, make us know, one of the judges is so home. Your friend Justice Chebafo. Bokai Chebafo. Justice Chebafo. Sometimes I know Rebecca say, "I no." There's a reason why, and Bokai Judge Chebafo. Judge Chebafo nana oti NCA case so. Do you remember the NCA case? NCA case, after Power Society and the NPP government, the Attorney General, made up a case against the NCA directors to say they had committed a crime because you see the machines be by and normal they monitor a amount for conversation and almost a sikebi. So, or suffer any NPP bigwigs did everything possible to make sure say Attorney General the case is not about court. The NCA case, Judge and not Eric Chebafo. What Eric Chebafo? I think I have Eric Chebafo's picture. It's in one of the folders. I don't think I can have it now for you. Mr. S, thank you, Mr. S, for bringing this out. Make sure 85 judges, not Judge Baku will be friend Eric Chebafo. Eric Chebafo too was one of the judges. Not Chief Justice say Yemfanin Supreme Court. This case, do you remember? NCA trial, Bafu Bonnie, William Steve, one other jailed 16 years. Nipa Otina sa case in the near friend Eric Chebafo. The reason why and the Ghana workers a judge be the a year warrant to me it was because of this case. The men in red, that was the caption for the case. On that show, Mekacha Ghana for say the body language of the judge wasn't right. And that he was supposed to basically step back and look at his actions. How he was conducting himself in court. He looked more like he had a political posture than a sitting judge who was supposed to look at the case without being biased. That was my editorial. In fact, during my editorial, I even stated it in the editorial, say, Judge Chebafo, during this trial, he was basically summoned by the General Legal Counsel about his conduct. And that the General Legal Counsel advised him that the case he is sitting on, he should do what? He should make sure that he is neutral and just enough to make sure, say, atena obebuno ombu atenen chiano. I was on this case, remember, Onwedina Ohono, Bafu Boni, the acting Chief Justice, Ninuya Enaneye, the head of NCA. Remember, this case was one of the most controversial cases. The NPP government did everything possible to push through because they wanted some political sympathy from Ghanaians when it came to power. I was on my show telling the judge, you have the right to sit on this case, but you being a judge doesn't mean you have too much power to basically, in quote, abuse anybody who comes before you. Chebafo said he's angry. Why am I making commentary about that case and also honor the warrant at so indefinite? Do you remember? This same judge, he's one of the judges, Madam Torkonoo, suggested and proposed to the president to move to the Supreme Court. So now you see where the connection is. Listeners, do you need me to read? Do you want me to read this story? Let me put this one up. Maybe I'm Refi. So he is one of the judges, apart from a judicial secretary, no. Madam Torkonoo wanted to move to the Supreme Court. Chebafo, do you know how he made his way to the appeals court or high court? No. You'll be shocked. And one day I'll come and sit here and read how he made his way so easily up there. So this was the case. And then I know, sorry, Kelvin Tailor warranted that, so it was Chebafo. Madam Torkonoo wanted to move Chebafo to the Supreme Court. Court issues warrant for arrest of Kelvin Tailor, Kevin. All because the High Court in Accra has issued a warrant for the arrest of social commentator Kelvin Tailor. Justice Eric Chebafo, who issued the warrant, said it was based on a vivid video in which Mr. Tailor reportedly made extremely scandalous and contemptuous statement against the court and the whole judicial administration of the country. Ose mekasetia court no, mekasetia the judiciary into a send warrant. Yamechemi free America bet to jail or Ghana. This was the same judge, Madam Torkonoo, in her final days wanted to move to what? The Supreme Court. This is the same judge who basically jailed NCA for Bafu Boni. And Bafu Boni, his younger brother, was the man this judge jailed for 16 years. Now you are getting the picture. The whole thing was planned to move some people who didn't deserve where they were to some places. Now, do you get the picture? And internet NPP people were so excited. Oh, Kelvin Tailor, Chebafo has put Kelvin Tailor, a warrant on Kelvin Tailor, this guy. I came to show Chebafo and his girlfriend's picture on my show. A young girl that he was sleeping with. If you don't know Chebafo, let me show you the face of Chebafo. I have his picture, him and his girlfriend, the Legon girl, and some other girls. I have some other pictures. This Judge Chebafo. He said he sent a warrant after me. All because he was working his way to the Supreme Court. But you see, you don't basically destroy people's lives all because you have an ambition. There's nothing wrong you having an ambition, but you need to have the right ambition. You need to have the right ambition. And this is what we have been talking about. But I know sometimes, so in the past, something was created in the hearts of Ghanaians. Don't speak about the judiciary. When a judge sits in court, whatever the judge does, you don't have to even question the judge. So some bad judges, and I'm not saying Chebafo is a bad judge, I'm letting you understand, some judges took advantage of that and suppressed the people. In 2012, Judge Chebafo in 2012, he was a circuit court in 2012. In 2012, he was a circuit court. He pretended over a cocaine case. It turned into Kokonte. It was this man. 2012, he was a circuit court. He pretended over a cocaine case. That cocaine turned into Kokonte. 2012. Go and check Chebafo's record. Nana Dankwa Akufo came and they moved him to the High Court. At a point, he was joining appeal court cases. And then Madam Torkonoo said he is ripe to be taken to the Supreme Court. Chebafo. When he was in law school, 100 students in his class, only first 40, he wasn't part of that class. Yeah, he knows. He was in class with all these lawyers you are seeing. So we need to understand, it is not personal. It is us trying to fix the system and making sure that the right thing is done. We don't hate anybody. We can speak to the judiciary. We can condemn judges when they are not doing the right thing. It does not mean it should affect the judge's work. Because whatever commentary a journalist gives, when a journalist says a judge is being biased, it does not mean that I have infringed on your right. It is up to you to make sure you do your job. If a journalist believes that some of the utterances and your actions, your body language, it does not really sound well or look good, a journalist has the right to question your body language. Do you guys want us to do lifestyle audits on judges in Ghana? Do you guys want us to do lifestyle audit? The kind of things wealthy people have amassed. When we do lifestyle audit in Ghana, most judges in Ghana will go to jail. Majority will go to jail. But that is not what we are talking about. We are talking about your actions and your conduct in the court. Judges are not supposed to be pleasing politicians. Judges are supposed to be just. Judges are supposed to look at the issue. Judges are supposed to speak and make sure everybody involved in the case is calm, because your decision can destroy lives. Because you don't want somebody to put your brother or your sister or your wife in jail for 16 years whilst you know some things were not done right. Whilst you know maybe the way you sat on the case, something wasn't right. You know deep down. If we decide to do lifestyle audit on Judge Chebafo, do you think Judge Chebafo you survive it? No. You won't survive lifestyle audits. Let us be a little bit, let us lower our ego a little bit. Let us understand people gave us opportunity. Let us respect the law, respect the power we the people we hold. The disrespect to senior judges, all because we are so affiliated to politicians. It is not going to do us any good. Flexing our muscles and making senior judges look like they are kids, all because a politician had made you who you are. Because at the end of the day, who is senior is senior. And this is where we are today. Now, so we are talking about the CJ issue. Now, I'm sure there. All right, sir. My team wants me to get you something. I don't know. Really? All right, I'll get it up. Mr. E, let me know if it's right. It's better now. A senior lawyer in Ghana is telling me to ask Madam Torkonoo. You see, there are things in Ghana that some people don't talk about because some can once didn't send me baba. I've received a message from one senior judge in Ghana. He's retired. And retired the boy here now or retire. I say, please kindly ask Madam Torkonoo, what does she know about the Azuame case and what is the extent of her involvement in the said case? Is it true that she was the one who drafted the pleadings, wrote the statement of the case, and paid the filing fees? Stay tuned for more. Madam former CJ, the worst is yet to come. Please kindly fasten your seatbelt because your chicken are coming home to roast. This is from a judge. Do you know what is happening in our judiciary? Do you know what is happening in our judiciary? Do you know? You have no idea. So many things happen in the judiciary. There are people in Ghana, they are in jail because a judge was just angry. They are in jail because, were we not here when a judge sat in Ghana court and called Anas a terrorist? Were we not in this country? How can a judge go to that extent of looking into the face of a Ghanaian to call the person a terrorist? Abra, that judge cannot prove with any evidence that the person standing before him has killed intentionally, destroyed lives intentionally. A judge in Ghana sat in Ghana, emotional judges, looked in the face of Anas and said, you are a terrorist. A judge in America was scandalized when he heard that statement, that a judge sits in court without any facts to prove that somebody is a terrorist, just made that statement. Are you not scared? What will make a judge sit in court and make that statement? Are you not scared? You should be scared. If a judge can stand before a Ghanaian, abra judge ni unsa Ghana ni na twuwa bo bitirimu tuo with the intentions of destroying lives, ekunipa na otumi biara ka so obi a terrorist in his courtroom, and goes ahead to say, you know something, this person, the case, do you think it's a joke? This is Anas. This is Anas who, at least as we speak, this is Anas who, at least you and I, he has connections than you and I. You saw the way they treated Anas in court? They looked at his face and said, you're a terrorist. Now, what I will share me, it does not matter whether you are NPP or NDC. We are talking about a judiciary that we need to protect. Kennedy Japan sat on national television to tell us all that a judge, he threatened a judge. He threatened a judge. You are a foolish judge. You are a stupid judge. You see what I will do to you. Kennedy Japan today wants to be president of Ghana. He was a mere member of parliament. He threatened the judge on national television. We have judges in Ghana, emotional judges, political judges. We have given them the power. Without us giving them the nod, majority of them will be homeless. The power the Constitution gave us through our members of parliament endorsed some of these judges to sit in the Supreme Court, to sit in our High Court, to sit in our Circuit Courts. But when we give them that authority to be just, to make sure that the law works for everyone, they take sides, some of them. For years, you people know that we've had issues with the judiciary. There are cases in the Supreme Court that had sat there for months. Serious national issues. Madam Torkonoo ignores. Afenyomakin leaves the Parliament House. Within 2 hours, Madam Torkonoo calls the case. You think it's a joke? All because Afenyomakin say, until one arm of government. Let me tell you, the 3 arms of government are independent. And legislature is most important in the 3 arms of government. I'm telling you. Because through the legislature, the president can be kicked out. Through the legislature, the Chief Justice can be kicked out. So you don't underestimate the legislature. One person walks out of the legislature, walks to the Supreme Court, goes to the Chief Justice and say, my love, please undermine the legislature and give me what I want. No. That is not how you build a nation. That is not how you put a nation together. When you do that, you undermine the fundamental principles that binds a nation together. And you might not see it physically. Slowly, it creeps into the democracy of the nation. It kills the democracy. It's like slow poison. It destroys the fabric. That thing that holds us. So long Ghanaians or ordinary Ghanaians don't have justice when they go to our court. And you can testify to that. That at a point, you did not even want to go to court because you were not going to get justice. This is how bad Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the NPP. This is how bad they sank our judiciary. People who had experience, who were supposed to be looked at and given positions to lead in the judiciary, to lead in the Supreme Court, they were overlooked because people had their own ambitions. They had their own diabolic ideas, what they wanted to use the power for. And that is what Akufo-Addo did. What we are seeing today against our judiciary, in our judiciary, and all that we are seeing, the fault is the NPP Akufo-Addo leadership. Because they were able to infiltrate, they were able to force our the Supreme Court to be like a circuit court. The respect the Supreme Court had, the respect that the Supreme Court yielded years back, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo reduced it because he took control. He politicized the Supreme Court. We have a member of parliament, somebody who contested on the ticket of a sitting government, NPP, moved to the Supreme Court. At least he could be qualified. He may be qualified. He may have everything. But at least, more NPP for now, more kase. Emrani daho. Nanka Osep Hama, at least. Emrani wo krampono. Anka onye de on change na adwene no. At least the Akufo-Addo could have said, then, wait your NPP ni. Somebody go Supreme Court, it will be too much of chaos. This is how bad. This is how they destroyed this nation. You have no idea. People were using the Supreme Court as their personal property. After Nyomake walks to the Supreme Court, even the suit that he puts before Ghanaians, it looks shitty and shady. Like a lot of grammatical and inconsistencies because some people's idea is push it through. Not e-levy daho. Is this the court you and I want to trust? No. We need to reset the system. At a point, the court became personal issues. It became family property. The country was being destroyed. We were lucky that we came together to vote against the NPP. Look at the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission was taking an action that was wrong. The Chief Justice takes document and says, I am not here, so nobody is going to give date. We were all screaming. The Electoral Commission should not take this registration to district offices. And that every polling station should have the right. We should have access to polling stations for registration. Madam Torkonoo knew, connived with the EC boss and said, no, I am going to give a date after the EC had taken the action. How do you call this a judiciary that has integrity? How do you sit back and see this as a normal thing? This isn't. There are so many inconsistencies in the actions of the Chief Justice. And let us stop hiding behind somebody is touching our democracy, somebody is touching a woman. It is about the protection of the democracy, making sure things are done right. So it is not about an individual. It is not about a woman. It is not about somebody's personal decision. It is about resetting the system to make sure that the belief that we have in our judiciary, that belief is something we can hold on to. And that is what I see the acting CJ trying to do. Recorrecting, resetting, making sure we have some belief in our court system. When you lose the trust in the Supreme Court, in any country, that country, the beginning of the end of that country starts from the day we lose the trust in our judiciary. This is what we talked about. This is what we are talking about. It is not hatred. It is not about a political party. It's about making sure the right things are done. And people at the end of the day understand that if they are given positions, they need to understand that they need to give respect to that position and also make sure that they deliver. They do not become partisan. They did not become, especially the judiciary, they do not become biased towards anybody. See the partnership, the friendship, the harmony the Chief Justice had with Afenyomakin. See the disrespect the Chief Justice disrespected the legislature, the Speaker of Parliament. How this Afenyomakin wanted to drag the legislature in mud. And how the Chief Justice wholeheartedly wanted or helped Afenyomakin to deliberately disrespect the legislature. It is not right. It is never right. See how Ekufuado infiltrated the Ghana Bar Association. The Ghana Bar Association. It became a waiting room for Ekufuado. He goes there to sell his political message. In the history of the Republic, since the Ghana Bar Association was put together, there's been no precedent. Majority of the president or any president that went to the Ghana Bar Association event basically stood in the middle of the conversation. But another Danko Ekufuado, that is where he went to cook his political, with all due respect, shit. He cooked it there, and we got lawyers clapping, cheering, because politics had infiltrated the Ghana Bar Association. That is the pain. That is what we are looking at. That is the glass that we are looking through. It is not about Torkonoo. With all due respect, she's one person. There are other judges in Ghana like Torkonoo who are smarter than Torkonoo. So if Torkonoo is not there, can't we get another woman? But it's not about her. It is not about her as a woman. It is not about her as an individual. It is about the institution that we all want to protect. And let us be honest here. Who has sacked Torkonoo? She has not been sacked. Process needs to work. Now, let me show you something. You see, we woke up and we saw this. Political parties are joining NPP. They want to go out and demonstrate. Demonstrate against what? LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, NDP, non-entity distress party, PNP, profane non-entity patriots, and GUM, gullible, unreasonable merchants. And all these parties have come together to join the NPP to do what? They have come together to protest. LPG, NDP, PNP, and GUM joined NPP to demonstrate against the suspension of Chief Justice Torkonoo. The suspension. The suspension. So it means Madam Torkonoo has not been sacked. She has been suspended. Does the Constitution give the president right to suspend the Chief Justice? Yes. So what is the demonstration about? So Madam Torkonoo cannot be suspended as the Chief Justice. Today I saw some news item. Some newspaper editor. I don't know a newspaper. Some newspaper like that is not relevant. The first time a Chief Justice is being suspended. And I'm saying, the first time Charlotte Osei was sacked as the EC boss was the first time a woman who had the EC boss or an EC boss in Ghana was sacked. Did Ghana die? And you know the shocking thing about people saying that the Chief Justice being a woman and the first time a Chief Justice being suspended is crazy. They have forgotten that this is the first time a former president has won elections in Ghana. They have forgotten. There's always the first time to everything. The people who are saying that this is shocking, they mean see that first time a Chief Justice has been suspended, and the Ghana Democrats now say, have you forgotten this is the first time a former president has won election again and now is the president? Have you forgotten? No. So whenever there's a first time, it does not mean that's the end of the world. It is because we have not tested our system. We have not tested our constitution. That's why we are always scared of change. There's nothing new here when Madam Torkonoo is being suspended or when the Chief Justice is suspended. There's nothing here. Now, these parties that are joining NPP say omoko demonstration. No. Look at something. These political parties, LPG, in 2024 elections, they got 0.05%. LPG, they got 0.05%. Nipa omotuma LPG, mitiskua, menkwara bedo swacha omo. 0.05%. That means a meti boarding school metuma fankwara more than omotuma LPG in the 2024 elections. Look at a party like NDP, Nana Kunedu party, no. 2024 elections, onya 0.04%. Mete primary school, enkwara mefo mu no, omodos chen nipa omotuma NDP. These are the political parties who are doing what? Who are going on demonstration with the NPP. How relevant are they? Bruni were to be insignificant. That is what I am showing you. They are insignificant in our political discourse. Now, a political party like PNP, 2024 elections, they did not even take part. They don't even have party office. They are like headless chicken. They don't even have a property. Technically, it is not a political party. PNP, they did not even take part in the elections. So I don't consider them as a political party. So you see where we are heading. Now, look at a party like GUM. 2024 elections, GUM enya 0.15%. GUM onya 0.15%. That is not a political party. That is a party that collects people. It's an extortionist party. They take money from people to live. They are extortionists. That thing is not a political party. Now the NPP itself, election 2024, omunya 38.2%. The NPP that these guys are following to go on demonstration, they got 38.2. 38.2%. So why should we as Ghanaians take such people serious? We are not. We will be stupid to look at these people and give them any attention. Why? These are scrap, waste. Most of them, they run their party from containers. Containers and kebet mama hairdressers, abo rasta womb. Containers and kebet mama young girls, aye juma, aton, aye sanitary pad womb. Containers and kebet mama ton ahoma ye butre womb. Containers and kebet mama chinchinga, aton chinchinga, aton aye pork womb no. So containers in a parties we running omo parties womb, container parties. And your 40-feet containers. These are containers, I see a ton gas, LPG. A party like LPG, 2024 election, LPG, on your 0.05. The leader of the LPG, he smells. The whole bong. So how can you now boma 38.44%? Omunina, NPP 38.2, GUM 0.15%, LPG 0.5%, NDP 0.4%. PNP, no number. Oka omunyina percentage boma 38%, 38.44%. Oka omunyina ni MPP, omunyina percentage boma 38.44%. Why should we as Ghanaians, these headless chicken, waste our time so omoko demonstration? And a young man who today, what to say, John Mahama's government, they have opened portal for people to apply for jobs. A young man and say NYE, say Gepa, create opportunities for young people to go into farming. Now we have time say make a demonstration. Demonstration, what is the end game? Because Madam Chief Justice has been suspended. Is she above suspension? That is the question. 38.44. Why should we waste time on a 38.44 clowns? Why should any serious Ghanaian get up in the morning and say 38.44? These are the people who are almost so these people.
When they say something, it's primary fascicles, which means
he has a case to answer.
He has a case to answer. But the constitutionally instrument here is whether or not all family fascists are true and are yes.
No, maybe.
Let me tell you. You agree? Let me tell you.
That's
let me tell you. Do you understand?
Committee sits.
So it can be fabricated.
That's why
it can be lies.
So if that's why the committee sits.
You see?
Let's have.
Let me. Something is primary fascicles, which means
he has a case to answer.
He has case to answer. But the constitutionally instrument here is whether or not all family fascists are true and are yes.
No, maybe.
Let me tell you. You agree? Let me tell you.
That's why.
Let me tell you. Do you understand?
We get up in the morning and then we say, oh, these parties, these are the people leading a demonstration for us. Okay, parties in 38.44%. Then we leave all that we are doing, follow primary fascists. Now, Now, this demonstration they are going, what does the Constitution say? Now, let's read the Constitution, what it says about this demonstration. It will clearly tell you why nobody should pay attention to these people. Now, when you read the Constitution, this is what it says. 10. Where a petition has been referred to a committee, under this article, the president may listen to what the president can do. What he may do, meaning he has the option to do A or B. He may. He's not restricted. He may decide to say A. He may decide to say B. Now, let me show you. A. In the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the evidence of the Council of State, by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice. Or see, in the case of the Chief Justice, and also by the evidence provided to him by the Council of State, and the evidence he sees, and the warrant that has been signed by him, the president may suspend the Chief Justice. And the president has suspended the Chief Justice. So what is the demonstration here? It is clear. So why should we sit in Ghana and allow these people to waste our time in the name of politics because they think, say, Jimmy? What is the essence for the demonstration? What is the reason? We are not supposed to sit on radio and discuss this. Ochina Saturday, go and see the nonsense they'll be saying on TV in the morning. Hey, my friend, please, break it down. Oh, these words are too strong. You are my brother in the law school. You know, I taught you. Don't do that. Hold on. Land. Oh, it is not like that. The Chief Justice is a woman. Kwasia, some serve 4 hours. They walk away. It is clear here. Why are we even discussing this? And this, we try to make journalism so easy. You try to say, Ghana na ya about the most easiest thing for everyone to understand. So why are we even supposed to be granting interviews on this? This is clear cut. It does not need any interpretation. It does not need any explanation. This is self-explanatory. It explains itself. Was a committee put together? Yes. Was the petition moved to the Council of State? Yes. Was the evidence established that something happened? Yes. Does the president have the power to do that by the warrant that he has signed? Yes. The Chief Justice has been suspended. What's the big deal here? What is the big deal here? So, you need to understand that what you are seeing here, say, the 38.44 group are doing is just to slow down your progress and your distraction. The NPP knows, said the NDC, they are building this nation. In the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, the president is acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. So if the president is saying the Chief Justice should be suspended, it is from the advice he got from the Council of State. The president just didn't go to bed and get up and woke up and said, Chief Justice be suspended. He got advice from the Council of State that they have also looked at the petition. They see something in it. Mr. President, our advice to you is that suspend her for a committee to investigate. That's it. So who in their right sense or sense it will blame the president? What has the president done? Where in the constitution does it say the president has flouted the law? It says in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. The president listened to the advice of the Council of State and took a decision. So why are people saying Mahama has some motive? Mahama is a bad person. Mahama does not like women. Unless the person, with all due respect, unless the person is not intelligent enough to understand what is happening. Because if somebody sits on radio today as an NPP communicator and tell us to say, the president acting on the advice of the Council of State, and this is their reason, into a gun of one time Mahama.
Again, a ma wum Ghana nyina, a ma wum Ghana nyina. Omomfa President Mahama enkwantina. Omomfa menkwantina, omunyina nkamum. A domestic violence and woditi yama.
Se emano entrega domestic violence.
Ai, emfa no nkwantina na omunko dwodwo no se de ya dwodwo mema wo ho no bi pepepe. Omampanyi dondroma ni Mahama ene ye campaign wo Ghana ene wo ka kire yen se wono ne nikuma ho pa enti
na nikuma se open ma
na nikuma
odwene ma
enti na wono wayi na bedi akiri
ayoba no
woyoba meba
baba
afedie substitution by elimination tactics obedi ade oba no a woyi na firi ho. The Chief Justice Ayoba or Pekwan so atriga a nefriho. The Electoral Commissioner Ayoba or Pekwan so atriga a nefriho. There's a ma and nada a mema ye bepe ma ye dada moon cham to the union by Walemani Ayamobasani Biana Jomama Ayamon Monfan Quantina.
This is the party I sorry say. Nipebia sorry say any demonstration. This is how can you try and reason with such people? You see, this is the Chief version. I mentioned the English version. Time I shall say MPP for Ekufuado. During Ekufuado's era, Oji a petition without date, without name, without signatory. Nana Danko Ekufuado still said that petition is valid to be pushed to the Chief Justice. Nana Ekufuado.
Yes, a boss. Kevin Yankupon Shrow. Yankupon in Shrow Papa. Na Endruana. Okatachi free for mensa. Meti news to be said one winning case in court. I think say Accra High Court, right? Nina ni say or the a year case be echo na so the case be echo to High Court to name so a demonstration. That is Ochiremua galamsi hun sensem any issues be into no person yet or ye demonstration or katache free fano on the debia ye can hold ye meba na a honum and a police phone so a file is a untimi enye sadino what you say na akobase Accra High Court strike out the petition against that demonstration no I need okatache free for minister a coin them so bit me I any demonstration without any hindrance. Na we na mega matransi adwin ho na menti ase and me bisa me ho se enti since when okatache free for minister obejai the inconsistency in his life. Yet yanom na okatache free for mensa. Okasa bebre ewo na nadroma mumu. It make a lot of noise. Before then, now a Haley NDC. Brand NDC for position. Na ewo hono kakra na okatache free for mensa. We trabo MPP so kakra. Thinking say enka NDC for beso akondwe even when you have something to say, even when you have something to, you have BB to react to no. Also hwɛ aban de kakra na wohwɛ nneɛma a ɛrekɔ so wɔ aban no mu. But all of a sudden no, deɛ yɛte ya ne sɛ ɔkatakyɛ fam nsa sɛ ɔbɛyɛ demonstration amid of how a Ewura John Mahama ɛresu tutu nneɛma yi ɛne ɔreputu things in place no. Ɔsɔ no deɛ ɔbɛkɔ so a yɛde abɔ NDC abɛn akyi na NDC nyɛ hwee. Before then no na watena ne platform so for the records hɔnom ɛne yɛnim sɛ for the records na gu sɛ ayɛ den ayɛ deɛ wasɔre sɛ demonstration mmom ɛna ɔbɛyɛ. Na ɔkatakyɛ firi fam nsa yɛ obi a meka sɛ aberanteɛ ɔde ne life adi agorɔ. Although sɛ wabɔ bra kyɛn mɛga mete yi medeɛ sɛ meyɛ akwaraa. Na ɔkatakyɛ firi fam nsa so deɛ ɔno deɛ maybe kuro bɛtumi awo me ɔnam ɔnyɛ akwadaa sɛ o. Ne ti mu duru ankasa ne ti na ɛso no koraa no ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa. Wate aseɛ. But meka sɛ ɔde ne life adi agorɔ in a sense sɛ aberanteɛ wei the trust a nkurɔfoɔ bɛnya ama no day in day out it fades kyerɛ sɛ ɛkɔ. Day in day out de biara trust a nkurɔfoɔ anya de ma no na ɛso te because he is inconsistent. He is consistently inconsistent in life. Onim how to tackle one issue and tackle the other. Eti de bi ɔkeka nneɛma bom. MDC aban bae. Will take how many months? Not even a year. Not even 5 months. Just 3 months, 4 months. Yeah. NDC eba. And it's all demonstration. Yeah. Why don't you wait till 1 year? Now one say any man omukaino they are going by that and I said their promises no more year. And lo and behold, NDC is fulfilling their promises. And nemo mukai be no much as with the exception of say in electricity tariffs a course right neighbor bonti beka say menokrano deep down na chisanya aban wo ya because ohwe car omoja to ho no MPP abanja to ho no ma nya asem ketwa enti no asidan na wo ba bonti any political parties binom sore ka se ye galamsi because of sika bi omodi ahye mubotom enti mun sore na munkoye demonstration. Okatakyɛ firi fam nsa be serious once in your life because you have people they look up to you and nkɔfoɔ bi ɛhwɛ wo na kɔba sɛ woyɛ saa de na saa nkɔfoɔ no wobu ɔmo bam na saa nkɔfoɔ no wo discourage ɔmo na saa nkɔfoɔ no ɔmo nyɛ role model because you are a fine gentleman and can nkɔfoɔ tie wo but of late onneɛma ɛne your inconsistency nti no people don't like you and you know it. Since I shall say so attack Kelvin Tailor yɛ no ɛnɛ wodi ba NDC na nkasa so na ogi di sɛ Kelvin Tailor kora yɛ baako pɛ no oyɛ yi na NDC na yɛ amanyɔkɔ do betime. Masa be serious in your life. There is no way your propaganda will hold. NDC is going to govern and they are going to govern well. What would you say no? Go and burn it because NDC amanyɔkɔ afei ɛna ahyɛ aseɛ. Enti the moment you know what your mom some time after 1 year na say nneɛma da so enko yi honum you have every right to do whatever that you want but sisi aban ni nneɛma nko yi ene afei ɔmo hyehyɛ nneɛma even appointment ne ko munya manwie yɛ afei na yɛhwehwɛ nkɔfo bi na wasɔre sɛ mekɔ demonstration adeɛ me na mabati so me na mekasa ejiji me nti mekɔ demo kɔna kɔyɛ obi amfa ho. This is useless demonstration. Go and do it. Nobody cares. Upekra fankrina bobo. Fankrina bobo. Okatakyɛ firi fam nsa fankrina bobo. Obi amfa ho. Ade na woyɛ hwehwɛ animu sa. Once upon a time na akwa wait. TVSYZ a defend NDC. Kakra obi nya di nti odi na furu na namu. Okatakyɛ firi fam nsa a stomach journalist. He was part of Nkoform Kwaji 20,000 Bomia, the media encounter before elections. Okatakyɛ was part of it. He was part of them. Momoji 20,000 Sadna Jono. He was part of it. since that na adwin asesa besisi abre ayesengo jiso dia kanja etino obi amfa ho you can do your demonstration to Kelvin akupo ishira kunja no nya de oye na embre ebechere what is embre na ebechere abusia hanom you are number one authentic platform Mega TV meso say obo subscribe to the channel no like it me na wa share na foforo eni bia hwe hanom still remains one of your authentic platform. You go to yourself the best of news. Yankopon shira me ma me cheba for United States of America ma me yankopon shira ma me roya bi UK and obi bia hwe Mega TV no yankopon ko so a hye for the da yekoso ye ni pitiri ma me fa wonsi makro bibia bye bye.